So, viewers, welcome to yet another episode of the VLLOW Podcast. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about VLLOW. VLLOW Inc. is a global direct-to-consumer cricket equipment company. We make premium cricket equipment at scale, and we focus on customization. That's what makes us special. Please check us out at www.VLLOWsports.com. Again, this is www.VLLOW.com. So now that we have that out of the way, let's begin. This is your host, Bhavik Kothari, and today's guest is a very special one. We have Arunkumar J, Coach Arunkumar J, also known as Coach Jack, on this podcast. So, Coach Jack, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Totally my pleasure. Thanks for inviting.
Awesome. So, I was thinking of ways in which I can best introduce you, to our audience. And I was thinking of ways in which, what describes you, or how to describe you in the best way. I think in a few interactions that we've had, you exude quiet confidence. And talking to you quite a bit about cricket and coaching, you want to win, and you know how to win. And that's been the highlight of your playing career and your coaching career. So let's begin right from the very beginning. What got you interested as a young player getting into cricket? How did you get started? Who had like a major influence on you? And we'll take it from there.
Well, my father was the one who encouraged me playing cricket, because he was an avid cricket fan himself and a very good fast bowler. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it big because his parents didn't encourage him. So he wanted his dreams to come true with me. So he pushed me into cricket initially, and I started liking it. I started hitting the ball well, and it's a feel-good factor, right? When you're young, you hit the ball and travels. And yeah, so he was a big fan of Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. So it was all about defending. It was all about not getting out like a wall. So anyway, we didn't have power at those days. I definitely didn't have power. So we learned the basics were very strong. That's how it started. In 1 or 2 tournaments I played and did well. The thrill of competition, the thrill of doing well. I guess I was a little fame hungry. My dad always told me, hit the headline, that's when you'll be noticed. So then I started playing a little seriously, and then Mr. B.S. Vishwanath, who was the elder brother of Mr. B.S. Chandrasekhar, who was a leg spinner. Mm-hmm. He saw me someday practicing, and he just noticed me and said, I'm so-and-so, can I come and bowl? And he bowled a very good leg spin those days, and I was a wee lad, 10 and a half year old. So then he said that, I can take over from you, since my dad was busy. So he took over from my dad, and he helped me get my basics right at a very young age. Yeah,
I would guess that in those times, there weren't like coaching academies or not as much of a professional setup that you see these days. Was there an organization that your dad first took you to, or is it more just him being your coach?
No, he was my coach. He was totally my coach. My dad, I give it all to him. He was not a great batter himself, so his technique was slightly warped. But I learned a lot watching TV. Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, but Dad was there every day bowling a minimum of 60 balls to me and monitoring the way he knew. So I guess it turned out pretty good. So I guess his basics were also right. That's the way it all happened, actually.
So it sounds like batting came naturally to you. Would that be a fair statement? Or
I was a lazy guy. Basically, I was a plump guy, and I didn't want to run. So I thought, okay, bowling is difficult, so batting is an easier one. So stand and hit, and he didn't make me run between wickets. So I was even happier, because we had a crunch for time. Dad had to go to office after that, so started very early, and I started hitting the ball well. So I enjoyed it, and I played under 12 state. It was called the Nutrien Superstar or something. So that's when I played for state. And I got the man of the tournament, man of the finals. I got a 97. And then I was picked for the under 15. Two or three boys from under 12 were picked for under 15. That's when I started playing with the likes of Rahul Dravid, Fazal Khalil. Fazal was the captain, Rahul was the vice captain. And I did well. One of the games, I remember it was against Andhra, and I got 55 runs in 7.5 hours. So
this was
there's one person who was bored Rahul Dravid is me probably, but he was standing in a non-strike and I said, Jack, give me strike, please. So it was funny. Because obviously you're 12.5-year-old, you don't have much power. But my job, the captain told me, Fazal told me to stay. That's your job in a 3-day game. So I just stayed at the wicket, and the other side, the senior boys got runs, and we won that game. It was good.
So right from like under 12 to having a pretty impressive first class career, the transition to coaching roles within Karnataka, then international with US and Major League, but also IPL. There is a lot that we have to cover, and I'm very, very excited. But one thing it just fascinates me is a lot of people, a lot of players. It seems like the dad by default tends to be the role model in many ways, and you tend to follow, and the parents and the sacrifices that parent makes to bring players into the world of sports in general, but cricket in particular. That just cannot be de-emphasized. The importance of
not at all. Yeah, not at all. I think there's two sets of parents. My analysis is one who dedicate their lives to their children, and they spend a lot of time with the kids. Let it be education, sports. They spend a lot of time helping them, and the other set of parents are just focused on work, making money, and they say, okay, the kids can look after themselves. So my dad was the one who dedicated his life to me, and he was always around helping me out. And then there was only one academy in Bangalore, that Mr. Brajesh Patel Cricket Academy. That was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the best, obviously.
Okay.
So after that, the next transition after playing state, 12 and 15 was Brajesh Patel Academy, and we got a lot of match practice. And that's where the confidence grew, and all the best cricketers used to come there. So it was like meeting friends, and it was fun, but you're learning every day. And Mr. Brajesh used to monitor, and he was a serious man. So we couldn't play many strokes when he was around. So we were all wary about it, but it was good. That's where the cricket, the competition, a lot of matches picked up. And yeah, but parents play a very important role, maybe in everybody's life. One is to encourage the kids, two is to be there around them and spend that kind of quality time with the kids. And yeah, nothing to beat that.
Right. And then after parents, I think it's the coach and the environment that the coach sets up also plays a huge role. And it sounds like you were in the right hands, but also you had a great environment, which perhaps the coach set it up, and you had the advantage of playing with your peers, and you must have learned a lot from each other. Just playing.
Yeah, actually, those days there was no particular like one-on-one coach, a specialist coach. Even in Ranji Trophy, where there was only one gentleman, he was a coach come manager. Everything. We had no physio, trainer, nothing at all. So I had multiple coaches, but the way we learned was just observing and feeding off each other. You're watching him and discussing with that guy, how do you play this stroke? I'm good at this. And he'll ask questions, and we practice a lot of that. So it was more like you're more street smart, because you're asking questions, you're observing a lot of things, and somebody plays a stroke, and you keep watching how he plays that, and there's a lot of observation. That's how we learned. There's no particular coach saying, oh, come on, let me teach you a square cut today, like how it happens these days.
Right.
So it's funny. I can't remember one coach particularly coaching me apart from my dad, Mr. Krishna and Mr. Vishwanath, but otherwise, we just picked it off. Right? We spoke to the seniors, spoke to the peers, and that's how we picked it.
I think the environment, it seems like at that time, because there was no structured setup, players who were interested in cricket and growing their cricket, they had to think for themselves and think about how they want to develop their game. It seems like when I talk to a few players and coaches from your generation, that seems to be the common theme. It's like we had to think for ourselves and learn ourselves, because there wasn't as much of a structured setup.
True, because
which perhaps played a huge role in.
Yeah, because cricket, there was no money in cricket those days, and it was a big choice between studies or playing cricket. So when it came to a career choice, like parents would say, "Boss, make sure you're studying well, because cricket is a secondary skill for you, but studies is an imperative." So we focused a lot on studies also those days. But after a certain level, when you're 16, 17 in college, you'll know where you stand. Luckily, I played first class cricket when I was 18. Then I started taking studies a little easy and didn't want to pursue much after BCom. But generally, those days, you couldn't bank on cricket only. Because cricket, maybe you got a job in a bank, or I joined Indian Airlines, fantastic companies, a lot of matches in the north. But the options were very less. But till you played state cricket, you wouldn't get a job. So you had to play state cricket to get a job, basically, because all the banks had teams, and those were the basic, necessities for all the cricketers. So they all used to work really hard at that time just to get a job. And some of them started relaxing after they got a job because that's what they wanted. And some of us started taking it more seriously because, we love this game, we're doing well, and didn't relax after we got a job. We just wanted to go further on. A lot of people just divert here and there after. You don't know who's happy at what level, right? So, if you're more hungry, you go further up.
That's another common theme of people I've seen who are really, really successful, is they're constantly pushing themselves, constantly trying to grow, learn and grow and persevere, as opposed to being satisfied with having some near-term goals and being comfortable beyond that.
Naturally, you got to put in the hours. There's no substitute for hard work, and that's one thing. After coming to US, boys are so good, but they don't put in the hours. The difference between Indian cricketers, youngsters, and the youth here, I feel they're so focused on multi-sports and education. Cricket's just like a fun act, 1 or 2 hours in 2 days a week. But in India, it's like a religion. All the boys, they forget school and then they're at the academies practicing for hours together. No wonder at very young age nowadays, you're seeing triple hundreds, people playing IPL at about 13 now. Can't believe the level of competition there is. It's incredible. That's all I can say.
Right. So, being in the right environment, a ton of hard work, and with some, assistance from being naturally just attuned to cricket in general, but also batting, got you into the first class cricket at a young age of 18. That must be pretty unusual.
It was unusual and very unpleasant as well, because I was probably the only cricketer those days who played strokes in the south, apart from, I think, Krishnamachari, Shrikant. There were 1 or 2. Hyderabad, there was Azim, and we were looked at very odd, like, hey, this guy's throwing his bat at it, but it was not. It was with a purpose. The bowlers come, you have 3 slips in a gully, and I could see so many gaps there. Why not? If I'm confident to hit the ball, I'll hit. But it was not very approved from my captain to my coach, everybody. So I had a tough time, but I just backed myself to play them. In the end, scores are important. The team winning is important. So when the team won, and even if you throw your wicket, it goes unnoticed as long as you've performed and the team has won. So winning was very important, and I just backed myself to play strokes because that's the only thing I knew. I was enjoying it, but I knew my basics were strong when it came to spinners on a tough wicket. Because when I was young, there was a lot of defense in mind, so I played well on tough wickets and spinning tracks and difficult tracks. So that's how the journey started and prevailed after a while.
It's interesting. We just saw yesterday Sam Constas, I think, from Australia, hit Bumrah for 2 sixes in an over and scored a run a ball 60 or something. And that's a brand of cricket everyone was talking about, recently. But it seems like you very early on really thought about, like, okay, what kind of a player I want to be, or what kind of brand of cricket I want to play. knowing yourself and knowing your strengths becomes as important as the physical training or the skill related training that any player goes through. Maybe talk about your thought process as to, because that was a very unusual, as you described, 3 slips on a gully, and thinking about the gaps and how to score runs for the team was at least somewhat unusual back in those days.
Yeah, there's some people who try to survive. They don't enjoy the game. They would edge it. Or, I was thinking the other way. Like, I can see the gaps here, and I like to dominate, because it's a personal battle between the bowler and the batsman. And I always enjoyed when they come and stare at you. So I always enjoy hitting the ball and staring back at them just to see their expression, because they're not used to it. The bowlers are always used to staring at the batsman head down. So I enjoyed that bit of it. It gave me a thrill. What can I say? It was exciting days, and luckily it paid off for me.
Yeah. So within your peer group, anyone you really admired? You felt like you had a really good camaraderie, but also you guys fed off of each other in terms of, that person learned from you and you learned.
Yeah, plenty of friends and peers who were there. The national camp, under 16. Then we went to England and South Africa with the under 19 Indian team. There, VVS Lakshman was my roommate, and learned a lot. I mean, he was very dedicated, writing down notes, and I was this guy looking at him. Why are you writing notes? Can't you remember? And that's when when you go through a slump, you remember the granular details of your technique. And what he wrote, he referred back to that. When you're in good form, you always go back to, what was I doing well? In bad form, you go back to, I'm in bad form. Why? Something's missing there. So he was a very good student of the game. So that way, there were so many. I played under 15 with Rahul Dravid, and seeing the dedication, the hard work he was putting in. So sometimes when you're lazy, when you see somebody else, it just motivates you. So there's so many of them cricketers, plenty of good cricketers around, and it was very exciting, the growth, especially when you know that you're very close to playing for the country. When you see something far, you just keep playing and going close to it. But when you go really close to it, people panic. And that has happened to a lot of cricketers. And I think you need a bit of luck there, the right time. You've seen some superstars become superstars only because they've got a very good life. They had, I don't want to name some cricketers, but you got to have the quotient of luck, I guess, to click at the right time. A lot of minute details as a cricketer you go through, and you keep analyzing throughout your journey that, this is an improvement. This is where I could improve. This is what I should be doing. This is what he is doing. It's success. But it's very important for you to know personally what brand of cricket is giving you success personally. Sometimes we get perturbed and we start observing somebody else playing a certain kind of game, and you feel, hey, he's playing that, let me play like him. That's the mistake a lot of youngsters do these days. They try to play like Sachin or a Sehwag or a Rahul. No, just be yourselves, because when you're natural, I just realized at a very young age that, okay, what is giving me runs? I have the patience, fine, and I have the strokes. So if I can get a mix of both, then play a few strokes so the field is back, then have the patience to play singles and rotate strike and get to 100. In the end, 100 is like not even 50. 100 is there. Okay, you've done something, and then you start. So once that becomes a habit, once you get 100, you know how many hours you need to spend, how much you need to run, what kind of fitness you need to, and what kind of patience you need, what kind of patience is required to play, and the swing bowling, the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, what kind of concentration, then how do you dominate after that? So you got to get smart and, psychologically look at a field somewhere else and show the bowler that you're trying to play there and play somewhere else. So a lot of reverse psychology comes into play. You learn over a period of time. So quite a few things we learn along the way, and it was exciting. All these days are exciting. But you need to know, I feel, as a youngster, what brand of cricket is giving you success, and what do you see yourself in 10 years down the line? Do you want to be known, like McGrath, for example, is known to hit line and length. Rahul Dravid, the wall. He's not going to throw his wicket. Lakshman, talented. He knows how to pick gaps. So everyone who's successful, Malinga, for example, Yorkers, Sachin, god of cricket. Like, everyone knew there's a brand of cricket. They play Sehwag, for example, like devastating. Nobody can stop Sehwag on his day. So if you know what you want to be in the next 10 years, where you see yourself in the next 10 years, at least you have something like a vision or something to aim for.
Right.
Then you'll start, the drive is there to keep going further on towards achieving that. And I've seen some cricketers of 30, 35 plus who still haven't figured out what kind of game they need to play. So the earlier you visualize yourself playing a certain brand of cricket, which is giving you success, and stick with that and back yourself to play that game, I think those are the guys who are actually successful, bowlers or batsmen. Those are the guys who actually make it big.
Right.
I've observed that over a period of time. Yeah.
So apart from, having skills and certain, level of fitness and things like that, I agree. It's very, very important to have a vision, not just vision, but also knowing yourself, knowing what brand of cricket, is working for you, and then having a vision as to where that brand of cricket is going, likely to take you, and then working towards that is as important, if not more.
Of course, yeah. Totally.
That's amazing. So any pleasant memories from the first class cricket and the under 19 tours that are still stuck?
No, absolutely. It was fun. I mean, we went to South Africa the first time, with the senior team was there as well. The historical tour in 1992, 93, I guess. We had a fantastic team. It was a World Cup kind of thing. It was the finals was kind of, we almost won it, and there was some umpiring error, and there was a huge row on the field. It was very dicey, that situation, but a lot of good memories. And the conditions in England, we learned a lot. They used to slag us, and we were not used to it. Like, somebody slagging us, they're calling me names. So you get used to that. But in India, it was worse. So we knew the Indian galis, but there when we went, you know how they are, right? So that was also good. It peps you up. It gives you, you'll know what kind of cricket to play there. You need to play close to your body, and sometimes stand ahead. You work out your own ways to succeed in every particular wicket. To cut off the swing, what do you do? Stand a little ahead, and maybe on middle and off, and ask him to bowl the stump so you can get some runs on the leg side because offside is back. You start figuring out a lot of things. Yeah, as and when you play in different countries in different conditions, you need to adapt very quickly. So you don't have time. It's a short tour. It's a 15-day, 20-day tour. So the sooner you adapt, those are the guys who are actually successful there.
It sounds like, or it just seems like, a lot of players from Karnataka, but South in general, are very thinking cricketers. They're constantly thinking about the game, and that's where the tactics of the game come in. Where, okay, how do I make the bowler do something different, or those kind of things. It seems like that's a common theme as I listen to.
Back in the day or now?
In general, I would say, but definitely back in the day. We talked about Dravid.
It's maybe the conservative side of South India, more into education and, serious parents all the time discussing about what your future is, what do you do. I mean, more serious.
Right.
The North Indians are, how they are, like mazak, hasi mazak. Those, all the flamboyant guys came from there. Bombay, like you had the best cricketers coming out of Bombay. So they're like Khadu's culture, like don't give your wicket away. South Indians are very risky and that kind of thing, and trying to be smart and working away, and more very talented. South Indians, I felt, were very talented. Then you see and learn. You want to, because one thing my dad told me was always try to make friends or mingle with people who are older than you. So you're quiet, you're observing and learning because they're ahead of you already.
Right.
And even now, I rarely have friends of my age. Usually, my best friends are all slightly old, much older than me. So that's where you grow. Even you start playing when you're 12. If you start playing with a 16 or 17-year-olds, you're already confident, mentally confident to compete. So you're by 16, 17, you're playing open category, 30, anybody. So that's when you're ready, right? So you got to start early. You can't be with your same age group. Okay, I'm under 13, I'll play with under 13s. By the time you're 19, you're still playing with under 19s. Where will you have the mental confidence to compete at the highest level. So you got to be ahead of time and start thinking, what do I need to do to go to that level at a very young age? So got to figure out the time and put in the hard work. So there's no compromise there.
So this might be a good segue into the next phase of your cricketing career, which is coaching. It seems like the constantly thinking and the self-awareness and knowing what brand perhaps played a huge role in making you a successful coach over time. Any thoughts there, or how would you?
I think the coaching came pretty good because I remember I was the captain of Karnataka, then I captained Assam and Goa, and my management skills were good. My rapport with the players was good when I was playing. I hardly had any enemies. I can't think of any. And when you respect somebody and get some good feedback from them, I always was like that. So you're learning from them and you're imparting some knowledge of yours to them. And it came good to me that. And so I try to understand how the player psyche is. What can you do to get the best out of the player?
Mm.
So it's not fake talking. You have to be honest. There's a perception that a lot of coaches try to fake it. Say, hi, buddy, how are you? And it can't work for long. You got to be honest at some stage, right? So if they're wrong, they're wrong. I tell them you're wrong. That's it. And somebody coming to me, sir, how are you, sir? Just stop it. I know you're trying to, butter me. Don't try this shit with me. Then people know that this guy is straightforward. Yeah, I can talk to him. So, but it takes time. People are observing there. They're trying to figure out what kind of a guy he is. But over a period of time, when they know this guy is straightforward, he'll tell you the truth, but the truth will be constructive. It's
right.
For the development of the player, for his good. And then you need to spend time with them to get their confidence. Sometimes they've gone to a level where a lot of cricketers of Karnataka, within the personal problems, they've shared a lot of personal problems with me because they're going through a tough phase in life. You got to be there like a big brother and, spend time with them. And those are the guys who will give you the best because you were with them the tough time. I remember CM Gautam and some of the guys who were there, right? They perform really well because sometimes personal touch also really helps. It happens over a period of time. Then you start learning, okay. And that in coaching, one thing I've observed is the team wins or loses doesn't matter, to be honest. If you do an honest job in coaching, the word spreads. A lot of people think it's only winning. Oh, Jack, you're winning Ranji Trophy. You won a record, all that. No, but in the end, I've lost also. I've played KPL. I've coached a team in KPL where we had 7 games. We lost all 7.
Mm.
But the previous year, we had won. Mm. So I was the coach where we won the trophy. Next year, every match we lost. So it's an equalizer. Like you don't know where you are. But there's a lot of learning from there also. Why were we losing? We're doing everything right, but we're losing.
Right.
So then you start figuring out, okay, maybe apart from the management, there's something else also you need to do. That's how you grow as a coach. It's always learning. Sometimes it's not about coaching, not about the result. Be a good coach. Try your best from your side. And that's the satisfaction which you get. Man. Winning is just a byproduct of that. But the word spreads when you're a good coach. That's more important.
Right. So, and there's going to be setbacks, along the way that you described, 7 losses in a row. But at the same time, you had fairly higher than usual, success with I think 3 back-to-back trophy wins for Karnataka.
6
that would
totally
have
in
been
2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
6
okay, so,
national titles. Yeah.
So that would have been
fantastic
very
run.
satisfying if you had to attribute, to something unique that you brought to the table as a coach. Like what would that be?
I think, you got to win something. Yes, you got to have a good team, honestly. So, however good you are as a coach, the team is not good. It's very difficult. They have to be comfortable. You can tell them what kind of cricket they need to play to be successful. But if the boys don't do it, what can you do as a coach? In the end, you need to have it's all. I attribute everything to the players, their hard work, the kind of professionalism they showed, going to the gym, eating well. It just spread to everyone. The professionalism started spreading. Robin Uthappa was one of the guys who started that. We used to have the idli, vada, dosa, all that. So as a coach, I came and said, no, we need to cut all this and start eating healthy because you're what you eat, they say.
Yeah.
So we started that and I asked Rob, people look up at you. Vinay Kumar was the captain. Vinay was the most disciplined guy and I'm still a fan of his work ethics. I've not seen many cricketers with his kind of work ethics. Him, Rohit Raidu, some of the guys from Hyderabad, their work ethics is great. So I requested Robin because Robin had a huge influence on the team. People used to look up to Robin. And I asked him, like, if you start, they'll follow you. And he was the first guy. He said, okay, afternoon lunch, just meat, protein, some salads, protein. From him, Karunaya saw that. Samar saw that. It spread slowly. Mayank saw that. Everyone started eating good after that. And that was the reason I think the team camaraderie became really good because each one was like, hey man, look at my abs, look at yours. Everyone's hitting the gym trying to get the app. And then I did an app challenge. Who will get a six pack as soon? Small things like that. It was fun. But everyone started hitting the gym. They enjoyed each other's company more than anything. They were together most of the time.
Yeah.
So the boys were together most of the time. So once the boys are really understanding each other in a personal level, gali, karosh, all that, the team tends to do well. Because they're open saying anything. They're free enough to understand each other's games. Okay, he's nervous now. I'll take more strike. Okay, this is not the right time for him to bowl. I'll come in to bowl. So these kind of things, people knew what to do.
Right.
And they had started helping themselves. That's a sign of a good team. You should help each other there. So it's not... people think, oh, it's a great coach. No. It's the players who put in the hard work there. And you make sure you're there to help them out and guide them. And you should be lucky enough. I was lucky enough. God's great. Won quite a few tournaments, and I'm pretty glad. And hope it continues.
For sure, it matters. That the team is good. The players are capable. At the same time, I think the coach's role in setting the right environment, as you described, is very important because only in the right environment, creates the right chemistry. And once the chemistry is there for the team, then they stop thinking as individuals and start thinking more on a collective basis and start helping each other out and leveraging each other's.
True.
Like as we describe, hunt in packs.
Yeah.
As opposed to individuals. So that's another, I think, common theme.
I encourage a lot of slagging, back each other. If I used to suppose a bowler's staring at the batsman saying something, the non-striker, I expect him to take up for the batsman because there are 11 of them charging at one guy. And this one guy is taking all that bullshit, what 11 guys again. I said, no, the non-striker is the only guy, right?
Yeah.
And support him. And I used to tell the batsman, it's so easy for you to piss off a bowler because he will get embarrassed. There are 11 guys hearing him, 10 guys hearing him, and he's telling you something. You say something back to him. And obviously, end of the day, they'll laugh at the bowler, right? Diya na usne. So it's more embarrassing for the bowler. He's taking a bigger chance than you. Okay, everyone's giving you shit, you're alone, and your non-striker takes it. But when you give it back, it has more impact on the other side. And then the word spreads immediately. Careful, though. This guy has a nasty mouth. So I encouraged all the boys to do that because I played my cricket like that. It's fun. But be in your limits. I mean, no uncomplimentary words.
Yeah.
And even if there is, very quietly. And boys enjoy that. That's what everyone wants. But if you give them the freedom to do that and say, I'll back you, but be within your limits. And they're like, yeah, man, this is how we play cricket. So everyone started helping each other out. And somebody said something, the whole team got together. And I knew that's the sign of a good team, a strong team, a united team. So if you can get that as a coach, create that environment, they're all free to talk to you and they back themselves, you've done your job.
Right. Yeah.
Team, more or less the team, at least is the winning track. So, yeah.
So after that successful stint in Karnataka as a coach, you decided to take on even bigger challenges? Perhaps a good transition into international
I went to
coaching?
Hyderabad after that. I was doing, of course, KPL,
Yeah.
Karnataka Premier League and all that. Then I went to Hyderabad, coached there a couple of years, right, was the captain, and it was fantastic there. Then I went to Pondicherry for a year. The team was excellent. The boys did well. We got promoted. But the administrative side was horrible. I mean, appalling. The way one guy tried to handle the whole team from the outside, slag. I mean, I don't even want to go there. It was a horrible experience.
That's fine.
The administrative, but cricketing side, the boys did really well. I enjoyed that bit. And then after that, I coached Kings 11 Punjab 2017, and then got a call USA, and yep, that was good. And here I am in this country now.
So maybe let's talk about your assignment with Kings 11 Punjab. So that was a different kind of a challenge. This was more T20, although you mentioned you've done some T20 coaching before. But this was at the next level.
2008.
And
so
you played for
I knew
RCB.
what to expect.
Right. But those were still early, I would say early days for IPL in terms of...
That was the first year of IPL, 2008.
Right.
So I played for RCB and I'd signed up for 3 years. And after that, I went into coaching. And I was pretty... they called it the uncle's team in those days. And I was also 30 plus. So Ray Jennings came in, and Ray Jennings wanted all youngsters, and he's slightly slow. He didn't like it. So anyway, after that, I quit cricket, took up coaching.
So any memories from your assignments with Kings 11?
Very good, yeah. Sehwag was the mentor, and right. he was the guy who asked me whether I was interested. Of course, why not? And working with Sehwag was great, and he did everything basically. Although I was there, and with Ashim Amula and certain guys, I really worked very closely with them. It was nice, enjoyed it. We were number 8 and we came to 5. We just missed qualifying. That was good, but that was the only year we did. Management changed the whole setup, and after that I went back to Ranji Trophy.
Right.
And then came to US after that,
Yeah, so let's talk about US. What brought on to, I guess, different shores when we talk about US cricket? It was a very early stages. It still is in some ways, but that definitely would have been one of the most challenging aspects of your career, given new culture and a new setup and everything.
Absolutely.
And a lot needs to be created, right? Because not much exists.
I think if you can coach US and be successful, you can coach any team in the world, because it is like a world 11.
Yeah.
You have players from all over the world, South Africans, Indians, Pakistan, anywhere, England, Australia, everyone's here. So it's so diversified, and you need to know how to handle each and every guy on a personal level. Forget the team personal level, because West Indians, there's so many West Indians in the team. So it's very natural that, the same race goes to them. Like West Indians want to be together, Indians want to be together, they go for dinner together. So it looks like they're in different
Silos,
groups. From the outside, it's like, they're not collective as a team, but everyone knows everyone. And the only preference, when people see people having food or going for dinner, they're like, hey, only 4 of them are going. What of the rest? No, man. Everyone's happy. They want to eat the right food. That's it. But it's very misconstrued here. But the players that way are they're pretty hardworking and dedicated. But the problem here was the funding. We couldn't have camps. I remember when I came in, without a camp, we went to Oman directly. We are playing the ICC. And without a camp, all of us met in Oman. And then we practiced 2 days and played the tournament. And how can you even understand the players, right? What is whose strength? There were so many runouts because players haven't played with each other. There were 7 runouts, which cost us a few games. I'm talking about for a period of 3 or 4 games. So that was a big issue because it's such a big country also, right? and to fly everyone to come to a center, it's quite expensive and don't have enough money. The funding is not great and sponsors are not here because cricket's not a very big game here.
Right.
So huge challenges.
We are talking about this a few
But
years
with whatever
back.
limited resources, I think the team did really well. They
really
fought
well.
really hard.
There is definitely a lot of good talent here in this country. It just seems like and there's a lot of progress that's been made in the last couple of years or so, and the structure and the processes and a lot of like preparatory camps and things like that
I'm very happy
Are
to see
being-
that it's improving a lot now.
being put in place.
Mm.
And we saw the success of
World Cup.
US in the World Cup, which would have been very satisfying
Of
for
course,
you
of
to see
course,
because
yeah.
you've played with you've coached these players. in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah. Just before the World Cup, I resigned and joined Mumbai Indians, and it was so happy. I was so happy. It was so satisfying to see US doing well and beating Pakistan. It was world news.
Yeah.
And amazing. And now after that, you've seen so many facilities coming up everywhere.
Yeah.
And even the whites know what cricket is now. Even my neighborhood where I live, it's a white dominated area, but a lot of people starting, hey, that's the ball and the bat, something like baseball, and they're starting to at least understand what cricket is. But otherwise, they didn't know. And even in the academies or the facilities they have here, it was only usually the Asians who used to be there. But now you see
Now
all
you see some
different-
Americans.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
picking up and really happy. And a lot of schools have started to pick up this game as a primary sport,
Right.
Maybe a secondary sport, cricket. But it's been introduced, so that's a very good sign. I think we have a very bright future in the way it's picking up now. And with MLC coming in, there's a lot of heat and focus on cricket.
US is a very sport loving country.
Absolutely,
They love
yeah.
all sports.
And
and
it's always
they
big
love
when
to
they
play.
do something.
And they're very passionate about sporting. So and the latest format, the T20 format of cricket, is the right format for Americans to get involved in. And I think even now, as you mentioned, you see a lot of people from Asian origin playing this sport in this country. But I think once the sport gets into more and more schools and universities, you'll see the demographic kind of broaden out, and that's when the real scale will increase, because it seems like the economics do exist for the sport to be popular, and once there's more viewership, there'll be trickle down, and there'll be more money that will go into building the right infrastructure.
Yeah.
But you are also working on bringing some of that infrastructure and that setup in terms of TSS,
Yes,
the
yeah.
sports school. So please talk about that.
We realized, yes, since cricket's picking up rapidly in this country and the facilities, we have a dearth of facilities here, and no turf wickets. Very few places have turf wickets. So yes, I've started working with the sports school. They're very known in Bangalore because it's a multi-sport facility they have, and you can reside there, stay there, work, study there, and play your favorite sport as long as you want. So everything's there in one particular place. It's huge in Bangalore. So all the professionals are looking after each sport. There's tennis, basketball, badminton, name the sport, it's there. So they have come into US now. So it's called the Sports School USA, and I'm with them as a cricket operations director in charge of cricket and development of cricket facilities in US. We've started one in Washington DC, and they're expanding. They want another one. They want another one. So it's lovely. We are planning to spread the establishment all over US now. 15 to 30 is the target. So they're going into most of the cities and trying to acquire facilities, and it's great. It's great that I'm working for a company where the vision is really good, and they want to open something in Seattle where in the same structure as what Bangalore has, multi-sport in one place, people can study and play professionally there, and hope it comes up. And this should happen very soon. And Mr. Srinivas, who's in charge, is very dynamic. He's not a man who'll waste time. He's quick. So we've already started venturing in different places and acquiring everywhere, trying to at least. And it's fun working. And I guess in the next couple of years, I'll be very busy once everything picks up. And we have to train all the coaches and make sure it's consistent. And the quality of coaching is very important.
Yeah.
So I'm training all the coaches to make sure when the boy comes from, say, under 12 to under 14, he shouldn't be learning different technique from different coaches to be consistent. What kind of coaching for each age group, or not even the age group, I feel. If somebody gets good at the age of 11, he's good enough to play under 15. Please let him go there. Let him not be the 11th. So
Right.
Identify by what he has learned rather than the age. So we have that concept. And it's not only about batting or bowling, it's about fitness. Because everyone plays the game and they go to a certain level and fall down. Why? Because not mentally tough. So start introducing, they don't know how to be in the present. It's very largely spoken all over. Be in the present, be in the present. How? Who's working on that? Right? How do you be in the present? You can't practice that at 25. You got to start practicing early. A bit of breathing. Be in the present is staying in the present, right? How do you do it? At least breathe. And you can just observe that. So that's what it requires. That's 3 seconds of concentration every ball when the ball is coming in. There's a narrow focus when you're just loading at that time. But how do you get that? It's practice. Without that, your concentration goes. So trying to introduce that in a young age where boys exactly know how to be in the present, and that might help. So this concept that we start talking about it now, but trust me, 10 years down the line, they won't talk about technique, because technique is something the easiest to learn. They say about 24 strokes. Give me 24 sessions. Actually, I can teach 24 strokes to an average cricketer who understands the game. And how do you teach how to handle pressure? Right? Technique is the easiest part. A lot of guys fizzle out after a while. So in 10 years, this will be the big thing. Technique later, first start. Mentally getting tough. Not only in cricket, but every sport. So some of the masters have done it because they're good mentally tough. But how do you get mentally tough? It's not that. The awareness, doing certain things at a certain time, being disciplined to do, all those will come. I think that will take precedence over the technical part of it in a few years' time. But if you start introducing that to the younger age, to the boys, they understand the concept of how to do it and what to do and how to do it.
Right.
I think they'll be in a better place than most of the guys who don't know the concept.
Right. Yeah. So this philosophy of coaching or this kind of mindset will be a huge step forward as far as the US is concerned, and the training setup for all the players. So I can't wait to see TSS in action, and maybe after this podcast I can work on you to give preference to Dallas somehow over over Seattle.
I mean, Dallas, yes, definitely we'll open one in Dallas, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
my home. So
true.
Yes,
true. That's awesome. So after your assignment with the US as an international coach, you took on even bigger challenges. You joined the Mumbai Indians coaching team. So that's the most successful franchise, or along with CSK, I guess, the successful franchise.
It's an honor. Yeah, it's a very professional setup, and you need to think of something, and that's there. The facilities there. It's highly professional in every little step. The granular detailing of everything. Right, everyone knows what job they have to do. Let it be a coaching staff, let it be the other. The media, everybody is busy. Everybody knows what they're doing. It's challenging but very exciting at the same time, because sometimes you do the best job and the results are not there. What do? Like, do you beat yourself up for that? Right? So it is challenging, but it's fun at the same time. Yeah. They know how to get the best out of you. So that's the fun part of working with Mumbai Indians. Everyone's enjoying each other's company, and everyone knows they have a job to do. We're doing the job well, and it was good working, and I'm enjoying working with them.
Yeah, because MI has had a lot of ups and downs over time. They've been very, very successful, but there have been some seasons where they've not made it to the top 4. But it seems like when you observe the dugout, there is a certain level of calmness that's exuded by not just Karen Pollard, but Mahila and everyone. So it seems like behind the scenes, there's a process in place. There's a culture, and players tend to kind of imbibe that. Yeah. So that's
it's fantastic. Everyone's a professional, so they know how to be calm. They're supposed to be. We'll talk about this.
Yeah. Any stories from any memories that come to mind in your coaching at MI?
Plenty of pleasant memories. A lot of fun memories, especially with the boys. How they pull each other's leg, and how Ishan Kishan's one of the naughtiest guys in the team. And, it's fun. It's really fun. And Tilak it was amazing. Good working with the boys. The staff was also good. Paulie, fantastic guy, and we shared good camaraderie with him. Learning a lot. And Mark Boucher was the head coach, and the way he had the command over the team and the way he spoke was fantastic. So you learn a lot from all these guys, interacting with them. Working with Surya was brilliant. I think he's the best. According to me, I think he thinks the best. The cricketing brain, what you call.
Mm-hmm.
He's sharp. He picks up things quicker. It was fantastic working with Surya very closely. Hardik. Even you evolve as a coach when you're working with them, because it gets the best out of you also. Fantastic journey. I'm enjoying it.
Rohit Sharma too.
He's cool as a cucumber. Everything's sorted. He knows what he's doing. Never mind type. He's good. He's calm, and that spreads to the team. Even when he's tense, he looks calm, just like his batting.
Yeah.
Even if it's a tough ball, he makes it look easy, right? His character also is like that. Relaxed, very relaxed guy. And I think that matters a lot. And it's fun, very naughty and fun. So the boys enjoy his company and his leadership. He knows how to get the best out of everyone. So that's why he's got all the results. I think it's well deserved that he won the World Cup. The previous World Cup was very close, but I think it's very well deserved that he won this.
So yeah, there is with Rohit Sharma, there's definitely a calm and a relaxed exterior, but I'm sure there is a lot of intensity within. Without that, you can't really perform.
He's very passionate about it. He's very passionate. He thinks a lot. He plans a lot, but he does it alone in his head, and he doesn't discuss too many things with too many people. But I feel I haven't seen him discuss too many things with people. But yeah, he's very, very passionate inside. You can make out just any wicket fall, he's excited. So you can make out he's always thinking, planning. Any batsman comes in, he knows how to get him out, or he's thinking, asking other guy, can you bowl this? He'll change the bowling. He's very proactive. So that means he's thought about the game a lot, of players coming in, who to get. So he's done his homework really well. You can see it, but he doesn't show it very much. But yeah, he knows he's a sharp mind. He's always thinking. He looks calm, but he's always thinking, I feel. One of those brilliant guys.
When you're in the coaching setup with players as experienced as a lot of these players we talk about, what really is the coaching role?
It's a good question, actually. Nowadays, there's a huge a common phrase going everywhere. Hey, they know what they're doing. There's no coaching, it's only man management. Higher level is only man management. Yes, I agree. But everyone has some problem.
Yeah.
And nobody addresses that at that level. I think the players at that level, there are two ways. Either the player might feel, if I ask the coach, he might think I'm not good enough, or he might tell others that I have a weakness. So the player's quiet. And you as a coach, you think, oh, how can I coach somebody who's already played that level? And if you are quiet, the player loses out. Actually, the players want you to go and tell them. You don't realize when you go and talk to a player and say, boss, this is what I'm observing. Hope it's okay if I tell you something. And this is what I'm observing. If you do this, it'll work. Players really appreciate. And the player then comes and tells you, coach, this is the problem. When we play so much of franchise cricket all over the world, they think we know everything. We struggle because we use so much of bottom hand there. Sometimes we don't know how to play on the offside or, get a particular gap, hitting over covers or playing the chop shot. Everyone needs some technical work somewhere.
Yeah.
Some little bit. But if you don't know as a coach and say, okay, let me not tell him, I don't know how he'll feel. You're not doing your job. Let him think whatever he wants. You see something. Tell him that I've seen something. I don't know if you want. Players are very keen on learning, but there's always an apprehension in a lot of people to go and say something. I think they all need help, but it's quiet. But don't say it in front of people. I mean, individually, when you get some time, I think it's very important. But if you don't know the technical aspect of it, thinking, oh, I'm already in IPL. The players know everything. Technically, even if I'm weak. But if you're weak, technically, you can't even spot the mistake of a batsman.
Right.
Then you're actually lagging as a coach. They're much behind. And this happens because these guys don't go to basics at all. They don't coach juniors because juniors have the most technical deficiency. You keep observing you go back to basics in cricket, they say, right? Even as a coach, you keep coaching the highest level. You're only thinking of the mental side, strategy, tactical. You completely ignore the technique, and somebody goes wrong and you need a little bit of help in technique and you don't know how to correct them. Actually, that means you're not doing your basics. You're telling the players to do the basics right, but you're not doing your basics. How do you do your basics? Go back and see whether all your technical aspects are also right. So that I feel is lacking in today's coaching all over the world. I've seen coaches who struggle and say, shit, man, I don't know. Maybe he's not thinking right. Maybe he's drinking too much. No, man, there's another problem also he has. So it's so common now because there's one or two big guys say, no, it's all about the mind now. And Gora said, whole world is saying the same thing. Arre, kya yaar? No, there is something more. They are covering their defects by saying that.
Right.
If somebody is not good in the technical side, he says, nothing, man. This level is only about mental side. You need man management because he's weak there.
Right.
He doesn't want people to touch that. So some dumb guy will hear that. He'll start using that. So I feel they're not independent thinkers. They're like, oh, I've got this phrase from somebody, I'll say it. They don't even think whether it's logical or if the words are coming out of my mouth, is it actually stolen from somebody? Or actually there's logic in what you're talking? And can you actually go to bed at night thinking, I'm a good coach. And when you see somebody, you don't know how to correct it.
Right.
I mean, these are things you need to introspect and see where you can grow as a coach. Maybe you might not be the biggest name in the world, but if you're doing a fantastic job within, you're very satisfied. But some things come and go. I mean, the posts come and go, but end of the day, if you know that you're overall a good coach, a team coach and an individual coach, I think that will be a good success for anybody who's training others.
You bring up a very interesting point because it seems like even a coach at your level, when you're working with IPL teams, you have to know the entire coaching spectrum, right? From coaching a entry level youth to coaching a professional player, because sometimes professional players also need they might have some skill deficiency and they need some correction, identification and then correction on that level. But if the coach is just at another level and just focused on the mind or the tactics, then the player is missing out.
They don't know how to focus on the mind also. That's a big word spoken. Working. Come on, man. Confidence, everything. You're good. Even the player knows this guy is just telling me just make me feel good. He is not feeling confident because you're giving him sweet words. Everyone's smart now. You can't lie to players and try to be, sweet and, come, let me have a drink with you. And no, boss, talk sense. Be honest. Say, this is what you need to work on. And people don't know. They're not transparent. I feel a lot of people are not transparent. They're just trying to please and have a facade that, if I talk, they'll feel confident. No, the player actually is not confident. If you tell him that you ask him what his problem is, discuss with him and tell him that this is what you need to work on and work with him. And if he gets success, that is good.
Then,
But you can't leave the player halfway. Right. And everyone's smart now. You can't maintain that for years. I mean,
it goes back to what you said.
It
goes back to what you said earlier about if you're doing a good job on coaching, the word spreads. And then the word spread, and from MI in IPL, you paired that up with another assignment with MI New York, with Major League Cricket, and I'm sure that would have been that
was a good first
different challenge, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great here in the first inaugural tournament. We won it also, MI, and it was fantastic. The boys really played well, and Pooran, and he killed it. It was fun. It was fun. It's great for US as well.
Yes,
and I'm very happy that my first year with MI in US and me being an integral part, because I'm from US and from the team selection, and the boys, the locals, doing well. It played a huge part, and I'm very happy for MI and the team.
Maybe talk about the future of MLC in the US.
I think it'll prevail. It is
better.
big. They're doing the right things, and tournament's competitive, and you're seeing the crowds coming in, and the huge crowds coming in, and the word spreading, and the more stadiums coming up in US, thanks to MLC, and the awareness it's created in the entire country. It's great. Even the remote places are coming up with cricket facilities now.
Right.
Even in Dallas, there was there were two facilities, Ega and Lords, and now we see
now
more than
there's
20.
multiple.
In 2 years, we need 20, 25 academies already.
Yes.
And that's happening all over US now.
Yeah.
So that's a very good sign. That means the sport is there to stay.
It's picking up.
Yeah. And you see, most of the guys are Asians here, right? Imagine the tough white Americans start playing, or, I'm talking about everyone, the big Americans, actually the locals start playing. And if they pick up this game at an early age, they can make a huge career out of it. Because why do you think every other sport in US is huge? Because they get scholarships right from college.
Yes.
Because there's money in it. They know if they invest time in the sport, it can look after them for the rest of their lives. Can be.
Agreed.
But cricket's not the same here, right? There's hardly any money in cricket. Once they start seeing money in cricket, people start investing time. And that's when it comes into schools, and everyone wants to get scholarships and play this game. So it's just like any other sport here. And all the big sports, they play football, and money should come in, and then you'll see people coming in. The same happened in India also, right? Once the money started coming in, huge IPL game, everyone wants to play. No one wants to play for India now.
Especially with when the sport gets into schools, I believe that'll be the tipping point. And the reason I say that is because when local kids start playing the sport and the demographic broadens, families, dads start following the sport, which naturally tends to happen. So the viewership will also increase, not just the number of kids playing, but also the viewership. And that will drive the economics and trickle that down into facilities and coaching and
absolutely
overall development of cricket.
You're doing a great job yourself by spreading the word of cricket everywhere, and of course the products you're making is fantastic. So it's a good initiative taken by you, same way that a lot of people taking initiatives in different forms to promote this game. I think in maybe 5 to 10 years, I think this will be one of the major sports in this country.
And again, this may sound as a plug of VLLOW Sports, but why not? Is what I realized in this country is because we don't have access to really good quality cricketing equipment, and not just that, but both my boys, play cricket, and as they are growing up, I didn't know what would be the right bat for them. What does the right bat for the player mean? And I had encountered that problem personally, and that's what got me started with VLLOW Sports. And here we are. We make a premium.
Make 1,000 bats for your son to choose now.
we have 6,000 different permutation and combinations, and you tell us what's your style of play, and we'll pick the right. Yeah, we'll customize that bat and bring it.
It's fantastic. Players love that. Each one gets the bat he wants. I think everyone feels confident when you hold a good bat. So if you're providing that and catering to that segment of professional cricketers who know what they want, I think that's something special which nobody has done here. It's all the best.
it's good to hear from you that we are on the right track.
Yeah, of course.
On that note, we'll end it here. But this has been a fabulous session. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure viewers will really enjoy. So, thank you once again, Coach Jack.
Totally my pleasure.
And all the very best for all the challenges that you have in the future. Thank you.
Thanks.